What's up, guys? This is Kalo, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we're cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news headlines. And who better to join me today than Aiden? Why don't you say what's up?
Hello, welcome to Game Sandwich, where if you remember anything, remember that thinks that you're a soy boy if you play on PlayStation.
Allegedly. That's what the comments been telling me. But anyway, before we get into any of that, we'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you guys who are liking these videos, subscribing to Game Sandwich, and if you're new here, do that and join our community Discord. Links to that is in the video description down below. Now, Aiden, I've brought you into the kitchen today because we are dealing with a hot button issue in gaming, and that's all about
Oh my.
console exclusivity, and it all has to do with PlayStation and how these people out here, Aiden, they don't listen to Kalo whenever I tell you things. Whenever I tell you, hey, down the line we're gonna see PlayStation kind of change their tune and put their games on Xbox. And just a few weeks ago, refresh my memory if it's okay with you. A PlayStation game. It's a live service one. I said it would do really well on Xbox. It's coming here in a few weeks' time. What was that game?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What game was
No,
that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Was it?
Don't know what you're talking about. There was no PlayStation did not give in at all.
They didn't, but like,
No, they didn't. They didn't. No, Sony didn't
Helldivers
give in.
2.
No,
Helldivers
no, I don't know
2.
what you're talking about.
Men in Black Mind Wipe It, right? It's coming to Xbox, and
Yes, it is.
we have a new development in this story, albeit it's very surface level. I'm not gonna sit here and feed you like this is definitely happening, but hey, shout out to Mike Straw from Insider Gaming for this report. Shout out to you, a good friend of Game Sandwich. You the best. There is a new job posting by Sony, and they're working to bring PlayStation games to platforms such as Steam, Epic, and of course the Epic Game Store, Nintendo, mobile, and yes, even Xbox. Now, this new role as a senior director of multi-platform and account management and will report directly to Sony's vice president. Sony says the senior director will play a critical leadership role in shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios software titles across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware, including, like I said earlier, Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. Aiden.
Why am I more amazed that Nintendo's on that list than Xbox?
Albeit, yes, that one kind of was snuck in towards the end, which, talking about PlayStation games taken on the Switch 2, hey, that'd be pretty fun. Like, get me God of War Ragnarok on there. Hey, we're living a good life.
I'm not even 100% convinced that the Switch 2 could run that, but hey, whatever.
I'm just swinging for the fences, and honestly, let's face it, it's probably going to be a game key card, so just get used to that stuff for you Nintendo fans out there. But I wanted to bring this up today because I had a little epiphany, a little coming to God moment, and I wanted to ask you about this. I think the matter of console exclusivity, as far as like it's only on PlayStation, it's only on Xbox, that era is slowly dying out before our eyes, as we can clearly see. I think we're moving into the era of the console generation exclusivity, where it's like we're no longer going to get, let's just say, Gears of War E-Day, which we're going to talk about a little later. It's not going to be on the Xbox Series X. It's just going to be on the next Xbox. I know it's not solidified whether it's on the Series X or on this new Xbox. I'm just using that as the example. But I'm more talking about exclusives to a single generation where they're not going to be too focused on putting it on a prior generation. Do you think that's the way moving forward?
I mean, I think honestly, moving forward, I don't see that much in need of console exclusivity, really. I mean, my my thought process is that like they're going to have their exclusives. They're going to have like the one or two exclusives here, but they're mostly going to share. It's like that's where the profit is, you know?
Of course.
That's where the profit is, and you want to go where the profit is, and really, it's just going to show. Helldivers 2 is just one example where they're going to go, hey, we're going to put this on Xbox. They're going to see an influx of like capital or whatever, influx of money, whatever you want to say, and they're going to be like, hey, look, we got all this profit from Helldivers 2. It went to Xbox. Hey, let's try this out with more and more things, you know? And the more they do it, the more profit they're going to make, but they're still going to want people to come to their system because one of their main profit drivers is having PlayStation Plus.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, because that's handing money directly to Sony. So at that point, they're still going to be like, oh man, we want people to come to PlayStation specifically. What better way to do that than with just having one or two exclusive titles that just shows, hey, if you're with us, you have this stuff. And like God of War is one that I really don't think they're ever going to want to give up.
No.
I feel like that one's too much of a moneymaker.
Oh yeah.
But like I feel like that one is one, and then I feel like the other is probably going to end up being like smaller titles like Astrobot and stuff, like stuff that's
Ooh.
like, really good, but also small. Stuff that's like
Yeah.
PlayStation is known for. Maybe like if they go, oh, we're bringing back a new Jack and Daxter game or whatever, that'll be exclusive. Stuff like that.
Damn it. Damn it. Oh, well, it's conversely the strategy that Xbox is doing, where it's like, well, now they're just kind of throwing everything out the window. But when they first started, they were like, hey, you're going to get Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment. This is what you're getting, and Grounded. I think I said Grounded. I don't know. But you're going to get these smaller titles to give you the Xbox experience, and if you're interested, come on over. There's a lot more to see here. PlayStation is in that early days where they're like, all right, here's Helldivers 2. I cannot wait to see the shot in the arm that game gets as far as like how many players are going to be there on that day, how the communities will interact, because I saw a story where it's like some PlayStation people were saying they're going to find and kill all the Xbox people so they don't get a certain item in the game. Crazy. But like, that game's going to be popping that day. So I recommend if you've ever played Helldivers 2, that's the day to jump back in. But as far as this story goes, yeah, like it's that matter of what can you do to entice people to come over to your platform and buy the subscription. For Xbox, clearly it's day one games. You get everything. You get Gears of War. You get Halo. You get Forza. Everything there. PlayStation has said countless times they're not doing that. Like, they're fine with what they're doing right now. And I guess just kind of testing this multi-platform thing with certain games, that's going to be the proving ground. I mean, they got titles like God of War, The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank. You said Astrobot. I don't know. I mean, they released The Last of Us like 7 times by now. What's an 8th time for an Xbox port, right? I mean, call me crazy, but I think that's what happens.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if The Last of Us ended up going to Xbox.
It's definitely The
I would
Last of
not
Us.
be I would not be surprised at all. Just like, hey, this is a remaster
Oh my
going to
god.
Xbox.
If this
They would I feel like they would even target it like that too, where it's like it's a remaster of the remaster, it's a remastering.
completely optimized for the Series X. Like, oh, shut up. Just give me the game and move
Also
on.
optimized for the future ROG Ally Xbox.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Stop. That's good. Now that we spoke it, it's gonna happen. Last of Us on Xbox confirmed right here. It's definitely happening. But while we're talking about Xbox, I want to talk about the flip side of things, and this is credit to MP First here. Apparently, there is a job description out there for the Coalition that does list Gears of War E-Day as a title that this role will be working with, and the tools, aka the platforms, that this person will be working with is Unreal Engine 5, and let's talk about PC, Xbox Series X and S, and the PS5. Now, I'm in the vein, there should be a short going up on the channel sometime soon, talking about this exact story. I don't think this is a day one release on PS5. I think this is a staggered release somewhere down the line where they're like, hey,
Oh, probably.
where they're like, hey, you'll get this at some point, like they did with Indiana
Yeah.
Jones. I think
Now,
that's
the
the thing.
big question is, are they going to go, okay, we're going to just do like slight early access for those who are on Xbox, like, oh, you get it like a week early or something, or are they going to stick to the whole, oh, okay, well, PlayStation gets it like 3 or 6 months later? Like, which one do you think they're doing from now on, if they're actually going to be working together?
Well, judging by what they've done with the Outer Worlds 2 and like how that game was $80, now it's 70 or something like that, they slashed the price. Their strategy is clearly ever changing. I personally think they do like they did with Indiana Jones. They release the game, and then a couple months down the line or a year, they're like, hey, here's Gears of War E-Day, like, available on the PS5. Because at the end of the day, we got to assume the game is fully being worked on to primarily run on an Xbox console. Then it's the matter
Yeah.
of how do you optimize it for the PS5? How do you optimize it for the PC? And hey, Unreal Engine 5 too. Like that's something you got to work with as well. I think a
Trick
staggered
question.
thing. Ooh,
You don't optimize it for PlayStation.
just give them a really
You
bad
just
version.
you give them a bad port, so they realize, hey, I should have gone to Xbox, and then and then they go, man, I'm gonna get an Xbox.
It's such a
That's what you
ploy.
do.
It,
That's what you do.
it's such a ploy. But like I know there's a lot of people that are very sentimental about backwards compatibility or that first year or two where you know consoles release, you can't get it. It's very difficult to get your hands on. The games are there, blah blah blah. But I do think moving forward, it's more about, hey, I'm releasing the next Gears of War just on the next Xbox, the Xbox 720. Shout out to those who know ball and spent countless times on YouTube during the 360 era. Um,
I want the game sphere.
the game sphere, spherical. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do think this is what we're doing. We're moving towards an era where it's like, you can't keep developing games to come out on the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X whenever we move on. Because at that time, you're dedicating time, resources, and everything else to a platform. But before the comments section starts going off, it's expensive to buy games and to be in gaming right now, and it's only going up. Those people do matter too at the end of the day, and this is the fine line people have to walk, whether it's like, yeah, we're going to release across prior generations and this one or whatever. But at the same time, you need something to shift people to that new console. You need something to get people on board. And yeah, I think it's coming towards an end here. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I just honestly, I have no idea if it's going to be coming to an end or not. I have no idea.
It's a
I
tough
don't
thing.
think. I mean, judging by where gaming is at right now, honestly, I think that like I don't think we're seeing the needle move, not for at least a little while longer.
Yeah, I mean, I think any of
I,
that information doesn't come until we
yeah,
actually see the next consoles and like, okay,
yeah.
like this is definitely happening or whatever. But who knows? Wild, wild times. But I do think, with all that being said, we're going to pass it off to you guys because I know you guys have a lot to say here about PlayStation and Xbox and all that stuff. What do you think about all this? What era are we moving towards? Are we just going to go back? Like, is it the asteroid hits the Earth while the dinosaurs are on it? We all get wiped out and we start anew. We evolve. We come out of the ocean. Who knows? I don't know, but maybe you do. That about does it here for this episode of Community Kitchen. We hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you want more gaming content just like this, keep it locked to Game Sandwich for all your gaming news, rumors, and reviews. And if you want, join our community Discord. Links to that is in the video description down below. But as of right now, I've been Kalo, joined by Aiden, and we'll see you guys next time.
Kevin is an Xbox soy boy.